For centuries, Earth had been a quiet observer in the vast expanse of the galaxy. It had seen many alien empires rise and fall, civilizations born and crumble, yet humanity had always kept its distance. The Earth, once a small and insignificant planet, had learned a hard lesson after its first few forays into the stars. Some debts were better left unpaid. But time and again, the galaxy reminded humanity of a past that had been buried deep in the corridors of history. A past where Earth's ancestors had been wronged by an alien empire that thought humanity could be easily crushed. The Volcor Dominion, a ruthless and technologically advanced species, had attacked Earth centuries ago, slaughtering countless innocents in their quest for control. The humans fought back, but the battle had been costly, and the Dominion's forces, though they retreated, left Earth with scars that would never fully heal. At the time, Earth was far too young and inexperienced to challenge the Dominion directly. Instead, they had been forced to accept an unspoken truce, a debt of vengeance left unpaid. The humans had vowed to one day settle the score, but their opportunity never came. The Dominion, a monstrous empire, had expanded across the galaxy, crushing all who stood in their way. And for centuries, Earth had focused on rebuilding, growing, and strengthening its defenses, waiting for the moment when they would finally have the power to confront their oppressors. That moment came sooner than anyone expected. In 2442, a strange message arrived on Earth's diplomatic channels, a signal sent from an unknown corner of the galaxy. The message was simple, but the words were unmistakable. The Dominion is no more, but the debt you owe is still waiting. Humanity's leaders were baffled. The Volcor Dominion, once a seemingly unstoppable force, had mysteriously vanished. Their vast empire had collapsed without warning, leaving nothing but an empty void where their once great power had been. Rumors spread that a rival species, an alliance of galactic powers, had torn down the Dominion's walls, but no one knew for sure. What was certain, however, was that the Dominion's old debts were not so easily erased. The message was a call for humanity to finally pay the debt they owed, no longer to the Dominion, but to the galaxy itself. The request was clear. Humanity had stood idle for too long, and now the time had come for them to act. But Earth wasn't about to make the same mistake again. Instead of responding in fear or submitting to the demands of a now fractured empire, humanity made a different decision. They would settle the debt, but on their terms. They would remind the galaxy of just who they were, and they would do so in the most unexpected way. Under the command of Earth's newly formed Galactic Defense Command, humanity unleashed a force that the galaxy had never seen before. The Starborn Fleet, a coalition of Earth's most advanced warships, each a marvel of human engineering, was prepared for a conflict on a scale never before imagined. The message went out across the stars. The debt is paid, and the galaxy will remember it. What followed was a military campaign that shook the very foundations of galactic diplomacy. The humans had not only mastered space travel, but they had learned to control the most advanced weaponry ever conceived. Their warships, massive and powerful, moved with the precision of a well-oiled machine. They struck without warning, silently, and with devastating efficiency. Entire fleets that once terrorized the galaxy found themselves facing human firepower that obliterated them in moments. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as the Starborn Fleet tore through the remnants of the Volcor Dominion's former allies. For decades, the Dominion's influence had spread fear across the stars, but now it was the humans who instilled terror into the hearts of all who stood against them. The message was clear. Humanity was no longer a silent observer. They were the new power in the galaxy, and as the battles raged on, the galaxy trembled. Planetary systems that had long been loyal to the Volcor Dominion found themselves under siege, their once dominant fleets reduced to smoldering wrecks. The Starborn Fleet showed no mercy, and every victory added to humanity's growing reputation as a force of unimaginable power. But what truly sent shockwaves through the galaxy was the unveiling of Earth's final weapon, the Genesis Protocol. A plan that had been conceived in secret, years before the campaign even began, to ensure that humanity would never again be at the mercy of galactic powers. The Genesis Protocol was not just a weapon of mass destruction. It was an ancient technology, rediscovered by humanity through their relentless pursuit of knowledge. It was capable of harnessing the very fabric of space-time itself, turning the tide of battle with a single pulse. It could destroy entire fleets, obliterate cities, and reshape entire planetary systems. With it, humanity had the power to level the playing field once and for all. When the Genesis Protocol was activated for the first time, its effects were nothing short of catastrophic. A massive shockwave rippled through space, and a dozen star systems were left in ruins. Entire fleets of alien warships were torn apart, their remains scattered across the stars. The weapon's power was overwhelming, and the galaxy's most powerful species could do nothing to stop it. Fear spread like wildfire. A newfound respect for humanity gripped the galaxy's most influential powers. And for the first time in history, the mighty empires of the stars understood that Earth was not a force to be trifled with. The remnants of the Volcor dominions, allies, those who had once been the galaxy's tyrants, now begged for peace. And humanity, having settled the debt they owed, decided that peace would be their final weapon. The starborn fleet withdrew, leaving behind a galaxy in disarray, but also one where humanity stood at the forefront as an unchallenged power. The debt had been paid in full, and now the galaxy knew: cross humanity, and you will never escape.